We have a question from Ian. Ian says, while training the rite of passage, which is one of Pavel's programs that's clean and presses, basically, lots of ladders, lots of rungs, and then about 10 minutes of snatching or cleaning, or swinging. If I'm starting to bend into a little body English, not excessive, is that a big knock if it's only the later ladders in the higher rungs? I can imagine the form police yelling at me, but I'm only concerned if that will ultimately hold me back from going heavier press with strict form. So the question is how much lean away, how much movement can he get away with doing the presses? Obviously some is okay. I as long as you're not, leaning so far away that the bell is running. That's always been my kind of knock on single arm overhead work, is with the double, you might lean back, you would never lean, to a side. In my perfect world, you'd have no leaning at all, but I'm with you. I'd much rather see you get some higher reps, get those fives. If you have to lean away on reps 4 and 5, I'm fine with that. I understand that. But I'm a lifter, not I'm not a lunatic. So yeah, I agree with you a lot there. I also end up changing my arm position over time while I'm doing a 10 by 10 double front squat from time to time. Again, 10 sets of 10 a double kettlebell front squat. Well, that's, God bless you for that. Again, it's not excessive chicken winging, but it gets more and more comfortable, and any other than that, my form is good. On that one, I would actually be concerned more about than you leaning away in the press, because this position here in the double kettlebell front squat should be comfortable. By the way, I'm fine with you interlacing your fingers. It's interesting, my friend Mike Krifka is not. He's a real believer in being out here. Of course, I come from the Olympic lifting tradition, where the front squat is just part of what we do. It's not, and I like what you said about the form police. I sometimes I think the big picture is far more important than the scribbles. So I'm fine with that. Try this though. Try doing that a little bit. Just see how it goes. Do the form police have a point that I shouldn't be doing that even if I'm striving to work less and more body English as I progress volume? Am I cheating myself into later issues or losing benefits? I have picked up one thing about my workshops through the years, young Ian, and this is what I've learned. The more insane a person is about form, the less I see them put overhead and their clients put overhead. If you want to get strong, you got to lift big loads, and I got to be honest with you, big loads don't want to get lifted. And I have watched a person critique. I've watched a person critique a lifter to the point that they had taken the lifter from a very good lift down to a horrible lift. And true, the form was better, but the load was insignificant, and you're not going to get any of those metabolic or hormonal changes. No. As always, I'm sure there's a point between the two of us that's probably correct. The person I'm thinking about, I wouldn't let them coach my worst enemy. Because that my worst enemy would end up calling me for information anyway. So yeah, I think there is a point to this hypercritical form stuff, and I think there's a point to my insistence that heavy weights are more important. We're both right and we're both wrong at certain times, and I think the good coach knows when to do both. Hope that helps.